I like to create things. Things like computer programs, or music, communities, and even companies. And I've always done so. I remember that being a child, I used to ask my grandparents to give me Lego sets just so I could use the parts to build own little projects. I remember building Star Wars spaceships long before those were available as kids. I remember racing up and down the street in front of our place with self-built little racing cars instead of using pre-built skateboards or bicycles. Growing up in a little town in northern Germany, I remember when we had job day at high school. The goal of job day was to find the right career fit based on an extensive, all-day-long questionnaire. That day started with an intro session, where we got told that picking the right career was a choice for life, something we will be doing our entire life. My result? Hearing aid acoustician. Unfortunately, that wasn't at all what I had in mind to do with my life. So here I was, terrified. The system, society, telling me what to do. And I was a teenager full of hopes and dreams, full of ambitions. I wanted to be many things, not just one thing. Why one thing, right? I wanted to be a rock star, a filmmaker, a cartoonist, a designer, a startup founder, an astronaut, and many more things. But instead, for the next 40 years, I'll be sitting in a little shop, fixing and adjusting hearing aids. Waiting all day for the clock to hit 5 p.m. Waiting all week to finally say, thank God it's Friday. To be honest, I'd seen it coming for a while. I noticed for a while already that, all that my parents and teachers wanted me to do was just get a corporate job, don't cause any trouble, don't fall out of line. And that's when I realized that I had to stop swimming with the stream. The system had nothing to offer me that was even remotely exciting for me, right? So that's when I started taking things into my own hands. Start using the system and exploiting it. Hack it. So what does hacking mean? Most people think of hacking like computer hacking. And so Wikipedia says, a hacker is someone who seeks and exploits weaknesses in computer systems or computer networks. But when I use those words, I want to talk about hacking yourself, society, and everything in between. So let's generalize hacking, the term. What are computer systems and computer networks? Right, they are systems. What else are systems? Well, society is a system. Going to college is a system. Our minds are a system. So what makes a system? Systems are based on rules, sometimes very well defined, sometimes less, sometimes written, sometimes unwritten. Going to college seems to be pretty well defined to me, as is our legal system. So systems also have goals. The goal of going to college is to get a degree. The goal of getting a degree is to get a job. The goal of our existence is less clear. It might be just to reproduce, or to leave the world in a better place than we found it, or be the first human on Mars. So what does a hacker do with systems? Right, he or she seeks and exploits them. Remember in the 80s, when we were sharing mixtapes with our friends to share the latest records? And then later in the 90s, using all services like Napster to file share MP3s? We're all criminals. It's actually legal to pirate music, right? So why are we not all in jail? Because they can't jail us all. Our collective hacking, sharing music when we want and with who we want, forced the system to completely reorganize. Our collective hacking of the system broke the system and forced the music industry to do something people want. Another example. When the founders of Airbnb a website to rent other people's bedrooms. Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia went to design school. They got asked, how do you get design into the boardroom? Now, in a world where conventional wisdom dictates that businesses are started and run by business people, that seems to be an appropriate question to ask, right? So what was Joey's and Brian's answer instead? They started their own business and had design lead the boardroom, and therefore a $10 billion business. But there's more. Before Airbnb, it was unthinkable that a designer would start a company or even get funded at all. They were just thought of as minor pieces of a team that might not be even necessary at all. They broke the rules. Rules that were telling them that only business people run companies and not some hippie design schmucks. Something magical happens when we break the system. Innovation happens. If we collectively hack the system, we challenge the status quo. And if enough people join to a hack, then something more happens. Instead of just individually slipping through the system, we change the system. I want to challenge you to step outside the system, because that's where innovation comes from. That's how we change the world. That is how we hack ourselves, society, and everything in between. Thank you.